Hey guys, so we just had a couple questions about how to set up a keg. So I'm just going to kind of run through that real quick. Sorry it's at a weird angle. I'm going to be kind of popping in and out. I just wanted you guys to be able to see our kegerator the best. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is getting your kegerator out. The first thing you want to do when you get here is check your bar notes. You should always be reading through those right away. And if you have a keg, we want to get that out right away. We like to have the keg settle, let the pressure go down so that our beers are pouring correctly. So if we can do that right away when you guys get here, that'd be great. That'd be the best way to do it. So when taking out your kegerator, you want to be really gentle. You have these CO2 tanks in there, and if they tip over, they do have a warning sign on them, so they can cause some issues with if the top breaks off. So we just want to be really careful. If you want to leave it in here when you move it, that's fine. Just keep an eye on it. Be careful. Otherwise, if you just want to kind of pick it up when you roll with it, that's great too. Whatever you guys prefer, you can do whatever you'd like. The second thing you're going to get out is your actual keg. So you're going to roll that out on the little dolly. That's when the keg starts to get jostled. So that's the reason we need to let it sit, is that it's kind of bumping around on our ground. It's not the smoothest. So we just kind of want to let it settle, get the pressure inside down. So before hooking up our keg, we want to check a few things. The first thing we're going to check is our handle up here. We store these open to just kind of keep the air in the lines, keep them cleared out. So the first thing you're going to do is push that back into the closed position, which is what you use like between your pores. So it's going to be back. The second thing we're going to check is our actual tap here. So we want to check this handle and make sure that it's up. Right now we do have it up. If it's in the position where it's down like this, when you go to put it on, it's going to spray beer. The pressure is going to come out and it's going to spray beer all up in your face. So just make sure this is in the up position. It's going to be just kind of angled upward like that. The second thing we're going to want to check is to make sure that our CO2 is closed. And you can see right on the top, it'll tell you which direction is closed. Just kind of give it a little twist, check it. Obviously, if it's not moving, it's closed, so you're good to go. So then we kind of just slide these out of the way. You're going to move your keg kind of right up front so that you can work with it easily. And the next thing we're going to do is actually put our tap on our keg. So what we're going to do, there's some grooves on here and they're going to line up with the top of your keg. So you're going to push that, find those grooves and line it up, push it on, and you're going to turn clockwise. And you're going to have to kind of push it down when it goes, and it's going to lock into place. And you'll kind of hear it or feel it lock. And that's when you can pull this lever out, drop it down, and lock it in. And it's going to lock in here, and it's not going to move. I'm going to put that up just for storage. The next thing you're going to do is open your CO2. Now there's a few things we have to do with this. And first you're going to open your black nozzle. So you're going to twist it to the left. And the next thing you're going to do is we see this red valve here. Right now it's closed. So if it's horizontal, it's stopping your air. So what we want to do is turn that valve so it flows with. So you're going to just turn it right like that. Put it back for now. But with the line, it means your beer is going to flow. The next thing you're going to do is check your PSIs. We always want to be between 10 to 12 PSI when pouring a beer. So kind of just keep an eye on that. If we need to adjust it, we're going to use this little knob here on the front. Excuse me. So the next thing we're going to do there, you're going to slide these out of the way. This is on your keg. You're going to set your keg in first. It's going to take up the most room, so it's best just to slide that in there, get as far in the back corner as you can. And then you're just going to slide this in next to it. It should just fit right in there next to your keg. So once you got that all in there, you'll shut your door. You can plug your kegerator in right away once you get it out. Otherwise, once you get your keg in there, you can do it then as well. It does act like a fridge, so the sooner you plug it in, the sooner it gets colder. Excuse me. So you're going to let this set for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then I would come back and check your PSIs again. After it's settled, the pressure kind of might adjust that. If we store our CO2 tank correctly every time, the PSI should not need to be adjusted. It should be ready to go every time we get it out. So we want to mess with that the least we can. The more we change it, the worse it's going to get to try and get to that 10 to 12 PSI. So yeah, that's how you go. Your beer should pour good with that. If it's not yet, just kind of mess with it a little bit, kind of adjust your PSI and see what you can get. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions, just let us know. We want you guys to be confident in what you're doing, so keep it up.